What's going on, you guys? This is Trent here at Rexburg Motorsports, here to do an awesome video with you guys. We are finally getting to pit against each other, Yamaha and Honda, on our 2022 250 Shootout. Let's dig into these two bikes, and I'll tell you, there is not a bad option here. We're going to go over the specs. We're going to go over what makes these two bikes perform so differently, even though they are so similar. Again, a lot of people, when it comes down to these two machines, they just say, pick a color. But there are some definite differences. We want to dig into those and give you guys all the options when it comes to these 250s. So let's check this out. All right, now that's better. Now we can see the two bikes that we've got for our 250 Shootout. We've got the 2022 TTR 50 right here from Yamaha, awesome little bike. And then we've got the 2022 Honda CRF 50, again, an awesome option. If you're looking to get a bike for your kid, moving up from, say, a Stasic or a pedal bike, or moving up from the PW50, these are two awesome options when it comes to backyard fun and giggles for anybody at any size. And I'll tell you, I bought one of these for my kid just last year, and I probably spend more time on it than he does. They are a blast, and Yamaha and Honda know how to make these 50s so they last forever. So let's dig into these two bikes. We're going to dig into what's fun, what's different, and what's similar between these two machines. So let's jump into this. Now, when it comes to how both of these bikes feel, I'll tell you, they are both a riot. Again, I bought my kid a TTR 50 last year. We had a bunch of them that came in that were available, and I hurried and snagged one up. In the last hour, I got the last one. These things go fast. We've got a list of deposits on both of these, and there's a reason for that. These little bikes are just grin-inspiring. They both have adjustable throttle housings so that you can adjust how much throttle Junior is able to give it, and they make it so much fun to rip around the yard. In fact, a lot of the mornings when it's time to go to the bus stop, I hurry and jump on the 50 and throw my kid on the front, and we zip over to the bus stop on the 50 because they're just so fun. You are looking for reasons to ride these little bikes. If you're looking for a bike, though, that's going to inspire grin after grin, giggle after giggle, and just tons of memories for your little one, be it the Honda or the Yamaha, you cannot go wrong. So when it comes to powertrains on these 250s, there are a lot of similarities, but there was more differences on the spec sheet than I actually thought there was when I was digging into these two little bikes. Now, they both are carbureted 50cc 4-stroke laid-down motors. They both are mated to 3-speed transmissions with an automatic clutch, and they both have chain drives from that to the rear wheel, giving you that power. Now, the big differences between these was I was actually really surprised to see these two bikes do not share bore and stroke. They don't share compression ratios. Yamaha and Honda have done a great job switching up how they wanted to get to their displacement of 50 cc's. The Honda actually has a bigger bore and a smaller stroke and a higher compression ratio than the Yamaha, which goes with a smaller bore, a longer stroke, and a little lower compression ratio. With the Honda, you've got a 39 millimeter bore going with a 41.4 millimeter stroke and a 10-to-1 compression ratio. On the Yamaha, you've got a smaller piston. It's a 36 millimeter bore and a 48.6 millimeter stroke, giving it a longer stroke than the Honda. Now, with this, you've got a 9.5-to-1 compression ratio. So again, two totally different ways to get to their 50cc configuration. Now, jumping back and forth between the two, you're not going to see a huge difference. Again, these are 50s. They're tailored to a kid. These are awesome little bikes. The 3-speed transmission with the auto clutch is very, very easy to use and will teach kids how to shift through the gears, being able to pick the right gear without having to worry about working the clutch or stalling. So it's an awesome little bike. Great powertrains from both of these winners. Now when it comes to starting these two little motors though, this is where there's a big difference between these two bikes. Yamaha is electric start only. So at the push of a button, you've got electric starting on this 50. It does come with an electric start motor and a battery, so it does add some weight to this overall chassis, and we'll talk about that here in just a little bit. With the Honda though, you have got a kickstart only. So kicking it versus pushing a button, man, the push button is very, very easy, but these little 4-strokes kick really easy. Now when it comes to the chassis on these two bikes, the Yamaha actually has a curb weight of 128. The Honda is 110. So you can see that electric start added 18 pounds to this little bike in comparison with the red offering from Honda. So with that, you're going to feel that 18 pounds pretty easy. It's pretty noticeable on these two little bikes. Will Junior notice? No, absolutely not. They are going to have permagrin plastered to their face, and so they are not going to care which one they've got as far as the weight goes. But there is that difference, an 18-pound difference between the two bikes when you throw them onto the scale. When you look at the suspension components, the rear suspension components on these are very, very similar. You've got 2.8 inches of travel on both ends of these bikes when it comes to the rear suspension. When you look at the front suspension though, you see you've got a conventional style fork on the Yamaha that has 3.8 inches of suspension travel. On the Honda, you've got an upside down style fork that actually has 3.5 inches of suspension travel, so a little bit less on the Honda. You also have a seat height on the Honda that is 0.3 of an inch less than the Yamaha. They both are just barely over 21 inches. This is 21.6, this one's 21.9. These 250s are awesome. We'd love to get you guys squared away with these little bikes. We've got a long list on both of these bikes on deposits because people are loving these things. Come and check these things out here at Rexburg Motorsports. And if you like that video, give us a thumbs up. But thanks again for watching and have a great day.